Insert Dave.
Gonna be the new mic. We're gonna take you on a trip to the Caribbean with the Balvenie Caribbean Cask. Alright, welcome back to Brolic Whiskey. As you can see, Mike got a little prettier.
Hey guys.
I'm Metahuman Dave.
I am not Mike. I'm Lisett, aka Wonder Woman.
She has her own YouTube channel where she talks about different succulents and other gardening tips and stuff like that. She's also the one who got me that badass Jim Morrison t-shirt that you saw in the Jameson video. And she really knows the format because she's been editing our videos. So since Mike's unavailable, even though she doesn't like whiskey, I tried to find one that was the friendliest that I thought she might at least somewhat kinda like. We'll find out today, because she really doesn't like whiskey.
Yeah, I don't drink whiskey, so as Mike says, this is for the newbies over here. So.
She's representing the Nubians of newbies, even more so than Mike. This is the Balvenie Caribbean Cask. It's been aged for 14 years. It's matured in rum cask, so we know that. And we also know that it's their own special blend of rums that they've made for themselves for this particular bottle, that they aged. They basically make their own blend and then they age it inside barrels for a little bit longer, so it kind of gets a little of the rum taste with this one. My question to them was, how long do you mature it in the rum cask? And they wouldn't give me an answer. So I really don't know how long it's been.
It's a mystery.
Lisett, you know the format by now. So while I do my talking, you nose, see what you can pick up. I'll get back to you.
He tells me I have to nose my mouth open. So.
Mouth open. Yeah, she remembers that. So the Balvenie is a Speyside region whiskey. I do have to say, first and foremost, before we even get to this bottle was actually donated by a good friend, Jonathan Castle. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for donating this bottle. We appreciate it. And, Lisett, did you pick up any notes that you can pick out and tell people about? I'm getting a little vanilla.
I don't know. Like, my mind's going to banana for some reason.
Okay. There's no wrong answers. So, whatever you pick up. A little vanilla, little toffee.
As Mike says, I'm really getting the alcohol smell.
So we don't want to put our nose too deep into it because we can actually burn out the smell receptors. But we do want to do it with the mouth open, so that's good. It's matured in their own special blend of rum cask. Basically what they do is they blend their own rum and then put it in a barrel so that the barrel staves kind of pick up some of that rum. And then they'll put their 14-year-old aged whiskey into those barrels for an undetermined amount of time. So, Lisett, I saw you took a little bit of a sip. What did you get?
I took 2 sips, actually. So the first sip, I did it wrong because I forgot that you mentioned to me to just hold it in my tongue for a little bit. So the first sip was really strong. The second sip, when I held it in a little bit, kind of loosened up the flavor, so I got a little bit more of a sweetness to it.
I don't know if you can hear her. She's speaking very, very softly where I can barely hear her. I'm next to her. But she said she took a big sip and forgot to, hold it in her mouth. I usually tell her there's 2 ways to try your first sip. I usually tell her either take a really small sip and then immediately take another sip, or I tell her to let it sit in her mouth a little just to let some of the alcohol burn off, coat the tongue, and then swallow. I personally usually do a quick sip, and then my second sip I hold in my mouth. But go ahead.
I think it has a good sweet flavor to it. So I'm not big on whiskeys because it's really strong. I like more of the girly drinks. So just taking that little sip and just holding it in my tongue for a little bit, just let it warm up a little bit in the tongue. It kind of loosened up as you said, the alcohol texture to it, and it just went smoother. So the first sip, I just took it and it was a little bit strong. Second sip was more smoother, so now it's actually coating my tongue.
That's it.
And aftertaste.
There you go.
It's nice and warm around the tongue right now.
So that's what, when you hear us talking about the finish, what you're experiencing right now, that coating, that sitting on the tongue, that's a finish. This does have a little bit longer of a finish than some of the other whiskeys that we've tried on this channel so far. One, it's been aged for 14 years, but also, that rum that Rum Cask is giving it the sweetness that's making someone who's a newbie to whiskey actually enjoy it. And I would say it's definitely due to the rum that she's actually enjoying this one. I'm trying to see. Okay, this is bottled at 43%, so it's not at the bare minimum. It's not a cask strength either, but it's a nice friendly medium. Let me get your first ever 1 through 10 scoring on a whiskey.
Since I'm a newbie and I don't really like strong whiskeys and more of the sweeter side, I think I'm gonna give it between a 7 and an 8. So probably let's go 7.5. 7.5. It's tolerable. I can drink it, and instead of having just little sips because it's too strong, I think it has just the right amount of alcoholness to it, where a guy like Dave can enjoy it, and also somebody like me who doesn't really drink can enjoy it as well. It might take longer to drink it, but it's something I can do. So 7.5.
I call that a win all day long. If I can get my wife to actually start drinking whiskeys and scotches with me, man, she's already a badass who does strongman training, and she's Wonder Woman. So only one more way to make her more badass would be turn her into a whiskey drinker. So I do like this one a lot too. Glad Jonathan didn't, because I'm going to enjoy drinking this one. I do wish, and I could tell this wasn't aged in the or matured in the rum cask for that long. I'd love to see this one actually matured for a little bit longer to pick up more of those rum notes. But as is, I'm actually on the same score as her. I'm about 7.8 on this one. I like it.
Yeah,
it's a good, enjoyable whiskey. So now we're going on to dilution, where she's going to now tell us what she smells that's different because of the water.
It's like very faint now. I'm not really good with smelling things. My nose doesn't really pick up smells. Like the first one, I really smelled it, but now it's like it's so faint, I barely smell it.
So it definitely muted some of the nosing notes a little bit, but what happens a lot of times, which you might have picked up already when you watched other videos, is it seems to bring out more of the citrusy notes once you dilute it. So I'm getting a little bit, and it's a faint citrus.
Yeah.
It's not strong like some of the other ones I get. The vanilla kind of went away.
That's funny, because I actually smell more vanilla this time.
All right. Like I said, there are no wrong answers. We all have different olfactory nervous systems, so we're all going to pick up different things. If there's no one correct answer for everything. While she deciphers what she's tasting, I'm going to take a sip so we can move on. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but you can just see the oiliness on this glass, even after it's been diluted. This has some legs. This one's got some viscosity. You can chew on this a little bit, but not in a bad way. It's actually really enjoyable. I didn't want to put anything into her head before we got started, but my guess was she was going to like it more when it was diluted than she was going to like it straight.
I'm going to surprise you on this one. I kind of like it more when it was neat. I feel like it kind of took away from the flavor. I mean, it's still good. It's just very bland. To me, it's kind of like when you have flat soda. Like you still feel the flavor, but it's boring inside the mouth.
I completely agree with her. It muted this stuff a lot more than I thought it was. And you guys might have seen me. I mooched my own wife's whiskey. She's a lightweight. I'm doing her a favor by taking this away from her so we can finish this video.
Okay.
But give your score on how it tastes once it's diluted.
It's not bad. It's just more, dare I say, more boring. I'll probably drop it down to probably like a 5.5 or 6.
Okay, so
it's still tolerable. It's still good. It's much lighter, but it's not as exciting as it was neat. So 5.5.
She's nicer than I am. I think the diluted version took all those beautiful tasting notes away. Everything that I enjoyed from it being neat, I'm missing now. And you saw, I only put a small amount of water in both of our glasses, and even mixing ours together just to see if maybe one was stronger than the other. It's very muted. I'm going to drop it down all the way down to a 4.5. I'm not digging this. Give it to me on straight, neat. I'm saving this off to the side. I will finish it. have no fear, I will finish it. But just for the sake of moving on, drink the water to clear your palate a little bit. Cooling down the palate helps when you want to really pick up the flavor notes when you're trying to compare. And now we're moving on to on ice, which always gets me nervous because for most scotches, it doesn't work for me.
I'm getting like pineapple.
I agree. I totally agree.
That's so weird.
A little bit of pineapple. Strange. On the side of the bottle, they say that the nose is rich, sweet, creamy, toffee, and fresh fruit notes. On the taste, they say it's rounded with vanilla, sweet oak, and fruitiness. And the finish, we agreed, was warm and lingering. But on ice, what happens? So we agreed, faint smell of pineapple, not strong to me. I don't know if it was strong to her, but faint for me.
It definitely took away the alcoholness, and it made it much sweeter. For me personally, I think it definitely, the smell is more pineapple-y, but the taste isn't. I can't really pinpoint what sweetness it is, but the pizzazz of the alcoholness that was in the neat, even versus the few drops of water, completely went away. And it tastes just like juice right now to me.
So you'll actually drink this if I gave it to you on the rocks. So
yeah, I mean, I get a little bit on the nose, but it is much lighter. So for a true newbie, this might be enjoyable. I actually like them all, but this one really took away the alcoholness.
Nice.
So it is more of a juice feel right now.
So I agree that it was very mild. And yeah, we both agree pineapple smell. No alcohol burn at all. Like this, I can agree with her in the sense where she said it's almost like drinking juice because you don't have any of that alcohol burn. If we're going to call it juice, it would be like the LaCroix of juice. It's a mellow and slightly fruity type of juice, but it's actually pretty damn smooth and enjoyable. Yeah. I would take it on ice way before I would ever take it just diluted with the water.
Yeah. Yep.
But get right down to the score. What are you giving it? Because you seem to like it.
I'm going to go with just by the experience by itself of it being on ice and not having experienced it before in the different ways. I think I would, if you just gave it straight up to me, just like that, here, drink it. So I'll probably give it an 8.
So you liked it on ice more than neat?
There's 2 different reasons why I like both of them.
Okay.
I like the neat because it was more of a spicy
A second, when people do this, I don't really know what that means.
way of drinking it. Like I'm just chilling on the couch, I'm just gonna drink it. But this way, I would probably have it like with my dinner. You know, so I would have it on the side with my dinner because it's more mellow. And the other one is more like, okay, now it's time to party. So,
Jonathan, thank you so much. We may have turned my wife into a whiskey fan because she likes them both. You're the man.
yes.
Can't wait for our next meetup, brother. I totally agree with her that it's a lot more mild. She's more friendly on the score than I'll give because I 100% more prefer it neat. But comparatively speaking, I like this way better than diluted. So we gave a 7.8 on the neat. I'm going to go about a 7.2 on ice because it's more enjoyable than I expected it to be. So this is damn good on ice.
Yeah.
Tastes different, like she said. She's actually might be turning into a little bit of a sommelier already because she's picked up some good notes. You guys got to admit that. Leave it down in the comments if you think she did a great job.
Thank you.
She's a little bit better looking than Mike, don't you think? Thumbs up if you agree.
I tried.
So
I may speak a little bit more than Mike does.
And that's weird because this is an introvert in the truest sense of the word. But
It is enjoyable.
It is pretty damn good, guys. Give it a shot. Let me know if you think that this tastes good on ice. Try it neat. Let us know what you think. I prefer it neat, but it is enjoyable on ice. As always, I always tell you guys, check out our other videos, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell icon so you get notified of new videos. Depends on what happens with our schedule. If Mike's unavailable, maybe we have a new co-host, hopefully.
Leave a comment down below if you want to see more of me or if you got sick of my face. But hey, I finished it.
If you have wives that are into succulents, make sure they follow her. We have her link down in the comments section down
I'll
below.
link it somewhere, probably like right here somewhere.
One of these corners.
I edit the video, so I know where I'm going to put it.
It's in the description as well, because I give her props for being our editor. So, thank you for being our
You're
editor. Until the next video, let us know what you think of the Balvenie Caribbean Cask Edition if you've tried it. And I'm always down to hear from you guys as to what you think should be our next video that we record. So, cheers to you
I would
guys.
say cheers, but I finished mine.
She finished hers. She
Yeah.
likes it. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you for watching.